back to another episode of Meet the Finalists. We have with us right now Doug, who is a part of the duo, I guess you should say, the Traveling Gays. It is very, very nice to meet you and actually talk to you. You are in a completely different country right now, correct?
Thank you for having me. Yeah, we're currently, I'm in South Carolina, which we've never been before, just waiting on the imminent birth of our little baby. So we've just been doing surrogacy. So we started in March 2020 and yeah, well, any second now. Hence why I'm sat under a tree, because we're just we're just out and about. Our surrogate's just running some errands, but I just didn't want to be too far away from her. So I'm just here while my husband's over in the Target with her. And we do love a bit of Target while we're in America, I must say.
How did you and your partner meet initially?
We met in 2009 at Manchester Pride, which is, I was living up there, Sanjay was at university there. And yeah, his friend was dating my friend and we ended up at the same party together. So on my behalf, definitely love at first sight. Sanjay took a bit more hard work to convince, but it's all good now.
When did you begin traveling together? Like, what was your first trip?
Well, it's quite good actually, because luckily I'm actually a flight attendant, so that gives me a bit of a head start on the travel. But like I said, Sanjay wasn't overly. He was a bit like, oh, I was like, do you want to go on a date? He's like, maybe, but then being a flight attendant, I had a 2-night New York trip. So I was working the flight and I said to Sanjay, well, if you fancy this weekend, I'm going to New York if you want to come with me. He was like, actually, yeah, you know what? I'll do that. And then from then on, he was sold.
What made you decide to start posting about your travels? Because were you doing it as a flight attendant first or no?
No, I wasn't really. I've always taken photographs, even, way before Instagram and everything. I'm that friend that's carrying a disposable camera around with them in the 90s. Like, I was really going for it. And we just had a load of photos we've always taken. Like I said, we met in 2009. I don't think we started Instagram until 2017 or 18 maybe. So we had like a backlog of photos, and we ended up meeting some people that on we were on a Disney trip with my husband's work, and they were like, you guys should have an Instagram account. We were like, oh, so we're picking a name, and our friends like, you guys always go on holiday, so you need to call it the Traveling Gays. So it was a bit of a joke to start, but we started posting old pictures that we already had, and then from then it just sort of escalated.
What are some of the most inclusive places that you've traveled to?
There's places that we wouldn't necessarily actively go to, but we find Sanjay is obviously half Indian, so we've been to India a lot on holiday, and we find, India is really inclusive, always very, very welcoming of us, because obviously as a same-sex couple, when you go to hotels, there's often that, did you really want the double bed? Is that a mistake? But, we find India very inclusive. We love Europe, obviously, is super inclusive as well. Sanjay's dad lives in Vietnam. We've been there. We just always find there's nowhere we would actively maybe not travel to, just we're always aware of, and we don't want to portray somewhere that's maybe not inclusive to any of our followers, but we're happy for when people are generally welcoming. We wouldn't push anything in anyone's faces a lot of the time, but generally when we travel, I like to feel safe where we go, and I find that's, makes it more enjoyable holiday, really, or experience.
I want to know about the surrogacy, because you're there now, and I don't want to keep you for long, because I'm excited for you. Like, when is the bundle coming?
Oh,
so,
I know.
How did you know that the surrogate you chose was the one?
She's absolutely amazing. She's called Amber, and we've been so lucky. We signed with an agency in the US pre-pandemic, so we were like, oh, we're dead easy to get back and forth, which hasn't quite been the case. But our surrogacy agency did say to us, when you know, and we made a little video for the agency, and she obviously watched the video, and so it was her that wanted to have a call with us via Zoom like this, and we were dressed up, we had shirts on, light ring on us, trying to look like as good and wholesome as possible. And then the camera came on. She was just amazing. She was sat there. She's got he's 1.5 now, but she was with a little boy on her knee, was only 6 months old, with her husband, 2 dogs running around, just instantly felt so comfortable and warm. And it's just, they said at our agency, if you know, you know. And then from then on, we've chatted every single Sunday without fail since August last year. And then we just chat, make time on a weekend just to talk for an hour, 2 hours. It's been so nice to watch a little boy grow up. And then we did our transfer in February in 2021. I was lucky enough to work a flight to go and meet Amber in person, which was amazing to see her in person. And we're so lucky our little embryo took, and now we are days away from having our first baby. So we're so excited.
So how involved have you been throughout the pregnancy?
It's definitely been, it's had its challenges because of COVID, but again, just having been a flight attendant, it's been amazing, because my husband has actually only just got to meet Amber for the first time, was coming over here because we've got exemption visas to come and bring our little amazing bundle home with us. But I've managed to get over for the transfer because of work, which was amazing. And also when I came over at the end of July, when about 26 weeks pregnant, we're on a work trip as well, which is amazing. But every single scan, every appointment, we've just joined via Zoom. So it just becomes we don't know any different, I guess. So for us, Amber's been amazing. I mean, I remember the first time she was having a scan and she just said, guys, do you want to see your baby? And she just flicked the camera around and was on the screen, and we saw the heartbeat and things. So it's really amazing.
How was that, seeing it for the first time?
It's just so, I mean, from going from, creating the embryos and all these stages we've been through to, we all three of us watched the transfer by Zoom. Sanjay was at home in London. I was in a hotel in New York, having just seen Amber in Connecticut. Because of COVID, I wasn't allowed in the room anyway. So we just got used to these processes being via Zoom. And for us, it's felt connected. But I will tell you, when we all got to hug, the three of us together for the first time, 2 weeks ago, we've been here now, was a really, really special moment.
How are you preparing for your bundle tour? Do you have the nursery together? What is that looking like?
Yeah, at home, we're really, really prepared. We've got everything, but then we had a slight extra packing thing of thinking we're going to go here with not just one suitcase. We've got a car seat, a pram, 3 suitcases. I mean, the baby's got a better wardrobe than we have, that's for sure. But we've got most of the stuff here. We've just actually, we've been staying with Amber for 2 weeks at her house, which has been a really great time to just spend time with a bump and her husband and a little boy and everything. But today we've just actually rented a house for 5 weeks. So we're going to still be staying with Amber because we're too scared she's going to give birth any second. But once the baby's born, we have a house that we're going to go and stay in. So we've got all of our little bits set up here. And then we've got our mums flying over now. The US has opened up. So that the grannies will be flying in on the 8th of November because they're so excited. And then we'll all go home together, hopefully, once we get the baby a little passport.
What are you most excited for, and what are you most nervous about?
I just think the whole process has been so, especially during surrogacy, I mean, there's no surprises. We've been really wanting this. It's taken a long time. And it's pure excitement now. I mean, we're literally just staring at poor Amber's bump. Like every time she walks past, we're like meerkats. Just, has it moved? Has the bump dropped a little bit? But everything. I mean, obviously, I'm a bit nervous about lots of bits, but we're really lucky. Sanjay has really good parental leave at his work. I've taken maternity at our work, so we've got a good stint off together to guide each other through this new journey we're going on, but we're very, very excited.
Any advice that you would give to other same-sex couples or even opposite-sex couples who want to go through the surrogacy process for whatever reason that may be?
Me and Sanjay have definitely very different approaches to it. Sanjay was very online, looking at agencies, things like that. Whereas I did really use Instagram as a tool to connect with real couples. Instagram is amazing. I could find people that were starting the process, had done the process, during the process. So I've really actually connected with people and made a lot of I mean, I haven't met a lot of these people in real life, but I really talk to them all the time. And it's been so helpful to just connect with real people that have had the same experiences. So I've really used that as a tool to, better my knowledge and education of the whole surrogacy thing, because it is definitely a learning curve. We've learned a lot along the way about IVF, surrogacy, everything. But I mean, we're really, really fortunate, and we know that we're coming to the end of our current journey. So we're just really excited and thankful for all the people that have helped us out, shared their knowledge with us, and of course for Amber giving us the greatest gift ever.
Thank you so much for joining. Of course, everyone that is
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you all so much for watching, and make sure you keep an eye on the AIA page, because we're going to have many more interviews coming up. Until then, peace out, guys. And of course, healthy delivery. I'm very excited.
Thank you so much.